What's up, YouTube? It's that time of year where we start doing predictions. For the first prediction video, we have the Southwest Division. The Southwest Division features teams like the San Antonio Spurs, the Memphis Grizzlies, the New Orleans Pelicans, the Dallas Mavericks, and the Houston Rockets. This division was fairly competitive throughout the year. Obviously, you have the top teams, the Mavs, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Pelicans, and then you have the two bottom feeders in the Rockets and the Spurs, who were in the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes, but obviously only one of the teams got Victor Wembanyama. Now, to start off, obviously we're going to start with the team that got Victor Wembanyama. They didn't really add any key players outside of Victor, but Victor is probably the biggest acquisition of the NBA offseason. He's a generational talent, generational prospect, and I don't know how big their jump of improvement is going to be, but I think they will definitely improve as a team. I do not think they'll be a playoff team because I feel like this division has 4 teams that are trying to make a playoff push. So that's just 4 teams in this division alone. Just thinking about everybody else, the San Antonio Spurs probably won't be a playoff team, but I would definitely be tuning into a couple games early on in the season, obviously because of Victor Wembanyama. And they have a nice little young core with Jeremy Sohan, Devin Vassell, Malachi Branham, Keldon Johnson. I'm a big fan of. Really big fan of Vassell also, though. But the San Antonio Spurs, they have a bright future with the hub of Victor Wembanyama, the aura of Victor Wembanyama. They're going to have some fans in the seats, and it's going to be an exciting season to watch for the San Antonio Spurs. We have the next team who was right above them in the standings, the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets had some money to spend this offseason, and they spent it. They brought in Fred VanVleet on 130 M's. They brought in Dillon Brooks on 90 M's. Drafted Amen Thompson, drafted Cam Whitmore, Jabari Smith Jr. showed out in Summer League. I like their team. The only thing I don't like is Kevin Porter Jr., though. Kevin Porter Jr. is terrible. They also brought in Ime Udoka, a great defensive mind and a great head coach. But is he just a great head coach, or is he just in a great situation? Because Boston had Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, 2 guys I'm not fond of. Jaylen Brown more so. Check out the last video. But I think the defensive personnel that they brought in with Dillon Brooks, Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr. is already I was about to say exceptional, but he's a really good defender, has the tools to be exceptional, has DPOY potential. I remember that game against the Milwaukee Bucks. He played really good against Giannis on the defense side of the ball, and the Rockets have a promising future. Amen Thompson's, he got the goods. I'm definitely tuning into a lot of Rockets games just because of Amen Thompson. Next up, we have the New Orleans Pelicans, and the big question with the Pelicans is obviously the man on the thumbnail, Zion Williamson. Is Zion going to be healthy? If Zion's healthy, they're a top 3 team in the Western Conference. If he's not, they're a lottery team every year because the team is just built with Zion and Brandon Ingram, not just Brandon Ingram. And CJ McCollum's not that second star that he once was in Portland. He's more of a 4th guy on a really good team, 3rd on a, middle of the pack playoff team. But Herb Jones, a stud. Jose Alvarado, really good role player. Pelicans have a really nice team, but Zion has to be healthy. That's all it comes down to. Zion has to be healthy. Brandon Ingram also has to be healthy. He's been dealing with injuries. Not as much as Zion, because he still gets on the court a wide margin more than Zion Williamson, but Zion has to be healthy, B.I. has to be healthy, and this team could really make some noise in the playoffs. We just got to see them healthy, bro. That's all it comes down to. And next up, we have the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks made a blockbuster trade at the deadline this past season, and they traded for Kyrie Irving. Luka also went down with injury. They missed the playoffs. I blame Luka for the Mavs not making the playoffs, and that's just because his play style, his injury concern. The Dallas Mavericks, they got a squad now. They brought in Omax, they brought in Rashawn Holmes, they brought in Derek Lively, they brought in somebody else, I'm missing a name, but they almost brought in Matisse Thybulle. If they would have brought in Matisse Thybulle, that would have been great. Oh, they brought in Grant Williams. That's who they brought in. They brought in Grant Williams. I really like what the Mavs have done, and I think they can be a top 3 team in the Western Conference if everything goes right. Kyrie is going to be Kyrie, Luka's going to be Luka, and the Mavs have the potential to do something special this season. And the last team, obviously the top team in this division, the Memphis Grizzlies. They were the 2nd seed in the Western Conference, lost to the Los Angeles Lakers in 6 games in the first round. Ja Morant also missed a game, I think, maybe 2, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was just a game. But obviously the big news surrounding this team, Ja Morant's missing 25 games due to him flashing the gun on IG Live multiple times. So he has a 25-game suspension. How will they compete without him? I'm not sure. I can see them going, it's possible they go 15-10, but it's also possible they go 10-15 or 5-20. I don't think they'll go 5-20. They have too good of a roster to do that, but I don't know where they map out. Maybe 12-13, 13-12, 14-11, maybe. I don't know. But obviously when Ja comes back, he'll take some time to get into his groove and all of that good jazz. But the Grizzlies, they got a nice roster. They got the DPOY, they got Ja Morant, they got Zaire Williams, they got Derrick Rose, Steven Adams still there. The Grizzlies may miss the playoffs though. That might be a hot take. They may miss the playoffs, but they may not miss the playoffs. It really just depends on how they play without Ja Morant. Because with Ja, obviously they're ceiling a 2nd seed, but without Ja, they played really well without Ja, but they also lost their backup point guard as well. And they got Marcus Smart in, but is Marcus Smart good enough to run the one like Tyus Jones did? Obviously, I'm not saying Tyus Jones is a better player than Marcus Smart, but Marcus Smart is not the playmaker and floor general that Tyus Jones is, and that actually matters. That's all I'm saying. But this has been the Southwest Division preview. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. Roll to 1K, guys. But I'm One Trimmy, and I'm out.